The game has started. It's me to go first. Just say hello to my opponent. And I have a few heavyweight tiles on my rack, a few clunky consonants. Just looking at possible 5-letter plays with the X. Can see a few 4s, but not 5s. I might play web and hope to score better with the X on the next turn. I could play Wexe, but the rack leave is pretty poor after Wexe. So web for 16. Not a great pickup. I draw the V, an O, and duplicate the E. But I should be able to score. I have Expo on my rack, as well as Vex, Vox, and a few others. Okay, opponent has played Joy. I'm looking at Exo here, which sorts the rack out fairly well and scores reasonably too. Exo for 37. Keeps the board tight too. Not a bad pickup there. I draw a blank. I have Pensive on my rack with the blank as an N. Bop would enable me to play Pensive for 78. Not many spots for opponent to play unless he has an S. So I guess the other option would be to find a bingo ending in an S, which I believe I do have, PVs. So I should be bingoing here, either in... Oh! Let's try and get this right. PVs here for 72. Or... okay, opponent's created a few more floaters for me. I think I have PVist here for 82. No, PVist. Or is it... am I mixing it up with... no, that doesn't work. Okay, PVs. Okay, at least I know I have a bingo under O, but I'm looking at the M as well. Impaves, but I've got 2 E's. Veep. I don't think VPist is good. VP, no. Okay, I'm not seeing something through the E, although I'm pretty sure there would be something. I think I'll play PVs and webs here. for 78. D Lane. Wow, that was a nice pickup. And Alien. So Alien does play with Ode. Is there a bingo through one of these floaters? The V looks quite helpful. Anviled plus an E. Okay, opponents created a nice underlap spot for D Lane and Alien. Both actually do play under there. This V does look juicy, particularly if a 4-timer is involved. Wow, it looks so close. Something ending V, IVE or IVED. No, not seeing it. Okay, I think D Lane looks alright. For 79. Autopsia through a T. I don't see a T, unfortunately. I think autopsia is good. Anyway, I think through an R I have parousia, maybe? Parousia, I think, is good through an R. Nice bingo by opponent. Paua seems to sort the rack out fairly well and takes out a hot spot. So in the absence of a bingo, I'll go with this. I draw more vowels, unfortunately, so anoopsia is good. Anoopsia, alegatory, no good. Anoopsia. Oh, that's not what I needed, but opponent also appears to be struggling a bit with a vowel surfeit. Wow, not many great candidate plays jumping out at me here. Over feels a little bit weak, sorts the rack out to some extent. I have the shin ending. That doesn't help. I have Eoan for 12. Takes out a 9-timer danger and also a hotspot in column H, but 12 points with this rack leave. What about Anoa for 17? Yeah, I think I'll go with this. That's not a bad rack. Sedation through an E and Astonied. So I do have a bingo here for 61. Opponent scores well with find. 36. Astonied doesn't get doubled. Just looking at this A here, the V doesn't look particularly useful. Astonied sedation. I'm not seeing an anagram, a further anagram there, so Astonied it'll have to be for 61. Okay, I draw a whole bunch of vowels again. Just wondering if there's a 5-vowel 8 with the right floater. Opponent is, yeah, still got a bit of a cushion there. What have I got? Eutaxite. No, not with a C. Myutic from an M, I think. No, it's not quite myutic, but it's close. Anyway, how best to resolve the rack? Lack is good, so a play of Tice would work. Is there a way of getting rid of more vowels? Lat is good as well. What about AUE? 10 points, good rack leave. A is useful with this rack. Takes out a massive quiz. Oh no, quiz would have to play along the top. Now I think I'll keep going with score. Tice is 30. Yeah. Okay, I draw a fairly balanced rack here. Opponent playing a little quicker than I would like him to play, putting me under a little bit of time pressure. Okay, no real floaters to work with, so just looking at score. Gam looks okay here, or gem maybe. There's only one E to come, no A's. I think I'll go with gem. for 31. Unless I'm missing a bingo. I don't think I was. This is not far from a bingo, but the WU combo not helpful. Opponent playing quite quickly. Looking at hotspots here. Maybe just qua. Risk is good, but I don't know if it's worth the risk for 40 points. Opening a 9 timer. What about just qua? Okay, I draw the Z, so I've got fizz. This is still a hot lane for bingos ending in R and S. No, I suppose I have wiser here. 29, is that strategically? I don't know. It's a bingo lane. This is the more useful one for opponents, so perhaps I should block this one. Opponents exchanged. I think I'll go for score. Fizz for 35. Triplicate the R's, so that's no good. Maybe I will play wiser at this stage, just to keep the score ticking along. No front hooks for wiser that I know of. Wirer is good too, but that gives useful floaters for opponent. Rewires through an E. I think wiser might be the play here, or wirers. Maybe wirers, yeah. Wirers. Oh, opponents played enjoy. Okay. Maybe I'll go with rewires for 28. Because that E and the N were the most useful floaters there for opponent. So I thought I'd close that down. That was my thinking, even though the score was... Oh, actually 28 wasn't bad. I'll play vaults to absolutely kill this lane, just in case opponent attempts to play one off and then bingo out. It looks unlikely that there'll be a 8 ending in an S with this lot, but there are some compound words there, so I have Vrow onto the W if opponent relinquishes his bingo prospects. He has, so I'll go with Vrow, I think. It's a better score. And then opponent... Well, I don't think he can go out. I've got 30 seconds. I, 30 seconds. 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 30 se rot, I think, is good. Or toils. So I should be going out if opponent doesn't. Low tie is good. Okay, I'll go with toils. Unless there's a better spot for... not seeing it. Okay. Toils for 4. So that's the end of the game. Thank my opponent. And let's see what we missed. So 499 to 318. Back to the beginning of the game. So Webb was best for 16. That's what I went with. Joey for 38. Underneath Webb, making buy. Joy for 25 looks okay. Now Vex for 34 or Exo for 37. I wonder why that has such a high equity compared to my play. I mean, that's a Val heavy rack, that one. Yeah, anyway, not much in it. I went with Exo, keeping the board reasonably tight. Maybe Vox actually, just looking back at Vox, kept the board pretty tight too. Yeah, I don't know how they work out the equity on that. Exogamy, wow, from the Exo. But all pretty average scores there. Gamey seems fine with an ER rack leave. Now, Preves for 84 was the one that J2. Preves getting the V tripled. Preves. Okay, so 6 points shipped there. PVs 78 was my play. Gerard for 36. Opponent went with Ho. That gave me D-Lane for 79, underlapping Ho. Legatory 78, highest scoring bingo for opponent. Opar for 25 sorted the rack out better than Paua, but Paua had the strategic merit of taking out a very hot spot, which the Q, the Z, yeah, that could have been a really heavy hitting 60-point play. So glad to have gone with Paua. UFO for 24, opponent went with Uoi to sort the rack out. Now look at this, Paeon through the P, E and N. Here, just playing off A and O for 15, very nice. Similar idea, I got rid of 3 vowels, an extra vowel, and scored 17, so still happy with that. Find for 36 was opponent's best, and then a stonied Saturn pod through the P at 2E. Okay, Saturn pod and Astonied. Yeah, I think I still like Astonied. Because, yeah, it didn't give the players across the top of, in row 1, there would have been easy scoring for opponent. Well, as it happens, it wouldn't have been because he had a tough rack, but still happy with my play. He went with the C word, and then Tice for 30. Cute for 28. Yeah, not much in it. And quad for 46. Wow, where was that? Through the A. Oh, using the blank. Yeah. Big score, but yeah, cat for 24, keeping the blank. Very similar equity scores. Mask for 44, or mask. I went with gem for 31. The M, leaving the M there, I just felt easy score back for opponent, although 44 is pretty good. That's almost worth doing, yeah, I'd say, if I spotted it. Gem for 31 kept it tight, and then Valds for 27, Delphs for 27, similar idea. Risk for 40 I did identify, but I thought it was too big a risk and went with Qua. And opponent still struggling here with the vowel shortage. Voweth he exchanged. He could have played the V and the R, but that would have taken out a useful lane for future. So maybe exchanging was best. Swizz for 45. I did mentally make a note of Swizz, but I just didn't think of playing it. Not sure why, because that's a really good score. And Fizz didn't really take out a useful floater. So not much by way of strategic merit. I just was going for score there. Then opponent had bank for 10, a few low scoring plays with the vowel shortage. He went with enjoy to create the opening, and then I closed it down with rewires for 28. That was the top play. Burke for 20, and as you can see, the opponent just has no chance of being going with that lot. I went with Bach. Frau for 30 was best. Hin for 19 seems okay. And then Volti at A8. Of course, down from the V. 3 extra points shipped at the death. And Toils was the end of the game. So yeah, pretty good game. I'm not sure what I was thinking with Peeviest. I'll have a look later to see what I was mixing it up with. But yeah, pretty good game. There was some bingos there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bingos, I think. Hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.